Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy, and as always, I'm here with my husband, Noel. He's behind the scenes doing all our cool stuff. Good morning, Southern Charm. Good morning, Brittany. Hello, Crystals. Hey, everybody. Y'all, we're 6 days away from Christmas. Like, I am so not ready. Are you guys ready? Have you all finished your Christmas shopping yet? That's what I want to know. Please say no to make me feel better. Okay, thank you, Crystals. I'm kind of okay. Like, I haven't done much for my adult children, but they're adults, so I don't worry about it so much. You haven't even started. Okay, I don't feel so bad. I ordered everything online this year. So for the 15-year-old, everything came from online, but she's kind of easy because she likes books. So that's pretty easy. Southern Charm, you know what? You always seem very prepared. I am not surprised that you are done. You are always on top of things. You only buy for a handful. Me too. So we don't necessarily for the adult children, it's usually cash or a couple of small gifts. And then the 15-year-old, as long as the kid still lives in my house, we do Santa Claus. And at 15, no, I don't know who's listening, but Santa Claus still comes to our house. Um, so I'm going to be careful because I don't know who's around you guys. What little ears may be around this morning. You were done before December started. Okay, so they're 2 or 3. Some I don't know. I guess that's easier. I thought it was easier when they were little. Once they hit the teenage years, I just feel lost on what they want. Girls are easier. My son, never know. So, but Santa, first year Santa gets to come to your house. That's right, Brittany. Congratulations. That is so much fun. And your wife was done the beginning of December. You guys are on top of it. Um, so one thing I don't want to say it's my gripe at Christmas time because I love Christmas, but it's the one thing that I don't really join into, which may be an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyways. I don't join into the Secret Santa stuff. So at my 9 to 5, they do Secret Santa. My kids' sports teams. If she wants to do Secret Santa, that is on her with her money. Usually, I mean, she gets her money from me anyways, but I don't participate in it. And I think it comes, I've really thought a lot about this. And at my 9 to 5, I did Secret Santa for a while. It is very stressful, but I don't like the forced or the obligatory gift giving. I don't like, you need to, buy somebody who you drew a name out of a hat a gift just because you work with them, to be part of the team. I don't like that. And I think it comes from way back when I was really, really poor and had no money. So same, see, a lot of people are saying the same thing. So we had our big work party yesterday. I had just scheduled a different meeting at the same time, so it wouldn't be obvious, and just kind of, politely bowed out of it. The white elephant game, those are pretty fun. I've seen those happen sometimes. But I just don't, for me, Christmas, or if I'm going to give you a gift, it's because I care for you. It is so, I mean, and I'm not like, oh, well, I'm going to talk myself up, but like, I just don't like giving gifts for the sake of, oh, that's what everybody else is doing, right? Okay, that's my whole thing on Christmas. Just kind of as an opening. I hope you guys are getting there. What about Christmas traditions? What do you guys do? We're going to get to business talk. We'll get there in a minute. I was going to talk about our one big tradition that we're actually not doing this year, surprisingly. Cash is Kingo, absolutely. Now, see, painting ornaments, and that's like from your heart, Moody. I feel that that's like a cool gift. How about traditions? Anything unusual that you guys do that you'd be willing to share? I always love hearing about traditions. We're pretty standard. Hello, Crafty Fairies. We're pretty standard. Like, we do open one gift on Christmas Eve. Now, I would love one of your hand-painted ornaments, Moody. So we do it's a little bit different in our house because we're a mixed culture house with my husband being Hispanic. We have found over the years that we do Christmas very different. In his house, they do Christmas on Christmas Eve. So it's a big thing. Everybody exchange gifts on Christmas Eve. Where in my house, it was always one gift on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas morning was like the big Christmas gift. Good morning, Chelsea Mama Bear. So a little bit different, but we always would do Christmas pajamas, matching pajamas. That is the one thing I am not doing this year. And I'm a little sad about it. I know I could still do it. That's how it is in your family too? Yep. I'm a little sad about the pajamas, but I looked around and I'm like, I think I have 4 or 5 pairs of Christmas pajamas in my drawer and we just don't need any more. So I'm like, y'all, let's just recycle. Let's use one that we did before. Seafood Christmas Eve. Now that sounds like fun. I like that. A few years ago, 2 years ago for Thanksgiving, we did a Mexican American Thanksgiving where my husband made some dishes and I made some dishes, and that was kind of cool. Um, but normally in our house, Christmas is a chill day.
Ask me who keeps all the pajamas.
Good morning, CG. Um, so who keeps all? Yeah, he has all the pajamas.
Good morning, Miss Echo.
Should do that once a month. Yeah, we should. Luminaries. Oh, I like that, Cynthia's Attic.
Good morning, TLC, Mama Bear, Southern Charm, Brittany, Moody, Cynthia Attic.
Am I going to
Good morning,
auction my
everybody.
PJs? No, I will not. I don't think anybody wants those. Hello, Natural State of High. So that's just kind of our, like, other than that, we do the pickle. Does anybody do the pickle? I think I've talked about this before. This was actually a tradition for my ex-husband's family that we still do. So you do the pickle, Southern Charm. This is so cool. So I was told that it's a German thing. I could be wrong. That's just what I was told and believed for many, many years. You do Christmas before Christmas, and Christmas Day is a free-for-all. Baby needs shoes. I love that. I love being in my pajamas all day Christmas and just playing games and chilling and not worrying about a thing.
See, what she doesn't know is that we did Christmas, the eve of Christmas, and then just Christmas morning was just visiting family. But then January 6th, that's when the Three Kings come over, and so there's more presents.
See, now I'm all up for more presents. So the pickle is a Pittsburgh thing too. So those of you who don't know about the pickle, and Mary Lack, I'm with you. It was a little bit of a shock. We did Christmas in Mexico last year, and it was cool doing it in a different country, but I really missed some of my normal things that I have spent years and years doing. On the free people to look. I still have the pickle ornament on the tree for people to look for. Yeah, so what we would do with the pickle is, in our family, so my kids are growing up, is Christmas Eve, after they're all in bed, the pickle gets hidden on the tree. And then the kids come down, and before they're allowed to open any presents, they have to stop and look for the pickle. And then there's a pickle present. Whoever finds a pickle gets a present. And it's usually something like a warm blanket or something nice to have. But the whole idea behind it was, before you just run down the stairs and rip open the tree, you're supposed to stop and admire the beauty and take in the moment and have a little reflection time before just ripping open presents Christmas morning. So that was kind of a thing we did in our family. We're down to one child at home, so it's pretty easy. I can hide the pickle. It's more of a thing we talk about than actually do anymore. But it is cool. That was a neat, probably the biggest thing that we would do every Christmas. Yours, birthday on Christmas. I love it, but I also feel bad for her at the same time, but I am sure you can make it special. Yeah, it ends up being more about the day. So, yeah, Christmas birthdays are kind of cool because it's such a celebration and you never have to go to school on your birthday. So there's certain cool things about it, but at the same time, I kind of feel like Christmas babies get a little bit of the short end of the stick sometimes. All right. Upcoming, let's talk about what's coming up, but please keep putting your traditions in. I love to read it and see what other people do. Tomorrow I have an MCM raid train. If you guys like MCM decor, 5:30, I will be on tomorrow night. Hello, Monster Mama. Sunday is my reverse auction, the one I do every 5 or 6 weeks. I've got some cool stuff. I'm actually going to give you a sneak peek in a little bit. Whatnot sent an email. They did. I saw that. Let's see. I like the pickle idea of a Charlie Brown tree. You can't hide it. Oh, Charlie Brown trees are awesome. All right, y'all. Then Christmas Eve. So Tuesday, the 2 nights before Christmas, is the Christmas Eve giveaway train. This is hosted by CG Boomerang Echo. It is a 5-minute spot. There's going to be a ton of sellers on there. I got a 5-minute spot. We have to make something out of candy cane, something unique. I can't be like your typical, gingerbread candy cane house. We have to make something. I am clueless. If any of you have really cool ideas of what I can make out of candy canes between now and Tuesday, please message me privately because I don't want nobody to steal my idea. Not my idea, your idea. But I've got to make something out of candy canes. It's a 5-minute spot. We're all giving away some really cool stuff. So join that train. That's going to be a fun one. And then next Friday, you guys, I'm so excited. We're going to talk about this a little bit later on too. But I have 4 huge announcements for 2026, like big things that are changing with Zoe's Treasures. I cannot wait to tell you. We have been working so hard getting ready for 2026. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. We're also going to do a little tour. Last time I tried to do a tour of my shipping inventory, kind of show you my behind the scenes of Zoe's Treasures. My camera was lagging so bad. We think we fixed that. So stay tuned. At the end of the show this morning, we're going to go do a tour, kind of talk about just the process I go through and what I did to get ready for 2026. Before we get there though, y'all ask questions. If you have any questions, this is kind of open. I don't have a lot for today. I was really just leaving it open so we can chit chat and just kind of chill. But I was going to talk about, at least mention, the most recent Whatnot changes. And I know you've all heard about them. I may have a little bit of different opinion on some of them. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see if anybody agrees with me. But let's talk about what changes have recently occurred with Whatnot. The big one is account controls. Have you guys seen this? Where you can set your watch limits and your spending limits. So if you go under your little icon, your name icon, I forget what that's called, but you go into your account settings, there is now a option for account controls. And there you can set how long that you watch Whatnot. And both of these options, the watch and the spending, can be set by week or by month. But I'm going to talk about the week and what I think is going to happen here. This is a shocker for you. Okay, I was very shocked that Whatnot implemented this. So the watch controls, those are on iPhones. I don't think those are so new. If people wanted to have those, and they have an iPhones, which are pretty popular, they probably already had some type of control set on their iPhone. That one doesn't bother me really. But what does concern me is the spending controls, and we're going to get into that. Before I do, I want to talk about when these run, because I think this is important. So they run from Sunday first thing in the morning, so 12:01 a.m. And not technically 12:01. It's a little bit earlier than that, to Saturday at midnight. But this is Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. So it's not Eastern Standard, which is kind of what we normally would operate on. Most things operate on. It is GMT, which is about 4 to 5 hours difference from Eastern. So when we say midnight, we're looking at 7 to 8 o'clock, because you got to account for daylight savings and stuff like that. So about 7 to 8 o'clock on Saturday night is when the week starts and ends each week. You're thinking, Moody, you're thinking it'll cost them money? Absolutely. Yes, thank you so much for sharing the show. So I think the spending is super concerning. I do feel like this, absolutely. It's a CYA for liability, like casinos. Natural state of high, you've just hit on the point I was going to make. I have been an auditor for a good portion of my life and working as a CPA. This is a CYA thing. This is due to some type of a remediation action. And I don't know for sure. Okay, I'm saying from my observation and my business professional experience, I look at this as being some type of a remediation. They're fixing something they got in trouble for, or they have heard rumblings that they're about to get in trouble, and so they're doing the CYA thing. There's some reasoning here, because from a business perspective, purely business, this makes zero sense. They just got an influx, Whatnot, just got an influx of cash to grow, a huge influx of cash for growth, for business growth. Limiting spending completely is counterproductive to a growth mentality. It would be best to have a way to remind us how much we spent. Exactly. Little reminders wouldn't hurt as bad. But this is counterproductive to growth for not only Whatnot, but for us as sellers. This hurts us individually as sellers. Thank you, previously mentioned. I think my theory is pretty sound. Now, I have no insight knowledge. I do not know exactly why Whatnot did this. This is purely my opinion, just based on my personal experiences and things I've seen in life. But I I'm concerned about this. However, on a good note, I am going to predict, I'm just going to call it now, that this is going to go away. I think this time next year, by the time we're sitting here next December, we're not going to see this. This will be one of those things that comes and goes, because I think Whatnot's going to open their eyes, but they need some time. They need a quarter or 2 quarters in to see the effect on what's happening. Let's take bets on how long I'm going to last. So Alicia, Whatnot has instituted, if you have not seen, under your account settings, controls that where you as a buyer or as a user of the app can set your watch limits, how long you spend watching, and spending limits, how much money you can spend. Now, when you set a spending limit, just real quick before I say this, did anybody notice last week maybe lower sales in their shows? I honestly think last week was a lower week because of this. So some people are saying yes. What I think happened is people were playing with this and didn't realize the severity and the cutoff that Whatnot has. When you put a spending limit in, and if you hit this, say you put $150 in, and you hit $150 on Wednesday, you are done. You can't override it. You can't change it. You can't go back in and say, I decided I can spend more money. You can't. Until it resets around 7, 8 o'clock on Saturday night, you're done spending. So what is this going to do to us? One, it's going to push a lot of shows into Sundays, Saturday nights and Sundays. Because as a seller, now I don't want to cater to just a few. I run my shows as trying to be as inclusive of everyone as I can. However, let's think about this. If Saturday is the last day of that week and Sunday's the first day, it's like payday, right? And Sunday is Whatnot Glitch Day. But Sunday is like payday then on Whatnot. For anybody who's instituted these controls, who have set this up in their Whatnot account, Sunday is the day that money becomes free again for them. That are not free money, but becomes available again. If you have shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe even Saturday at the end, it's facts that Whatnot has set this up. This is my opinion on what I think is going to happen towards the end of the week. So I have a feeling that shows on Friday and Saturdays are going to decline, because this is when people's money are going to be locked up from too much spending in the beginning of the week. Just my theory. I'm really curious to see how this goes as it moves forward. I'm not changing my Saturday show. I'm going to keep my Saturday show, but you can bet that I'm going to be keeping even a closer eye on my analytics to see if there's any correlation or not. Yes, once they set it up for the week, you have to redo it every single week. But once you set it up for that week, if you hit your spending or your watch limit, you are done. You're cut off. And then it resets on Saturday night, and you have to reset it up. So it's a weekly thing. It's an action that people have to take every single week to go in and set a spending limit. We changed a Hamday Market Day to along with Friday Payday because we were dead in those days. Okay, yep. This week was significantly lower sales, got very low at the end of the auction, first time in ages. So I'm not the only one that I feel that I experienced a little bit of a decline last week. I mean, I still had great shows. I'm not saying they were bad, but I felt that we had a slight decline. Is it just a reminder, though, correct? No, it is a cutoff. Miss Vivian, it is a straight up cutoff. When you hit your spending limit, you are done. You are not allowed to spend another dollar. You can watch shows. Aside from it, if you don't send a watch limit, if you just send a spending limit, and if your limit was 150 and you hit 150, you're cut off. Now, I've heard it explained, and from my understanding on reading the terms of service, or the FAQs they have about it, if you're at, say, 148 and you're bidding on something and it's $12 and your limit's 150, it'll still let you do that. But then after that sale, if you win that, you're done after that.
Hide your phone, Brittany.
I'm hoping most people don't see it. Me too. Now, you could set that up in your account settings. I don't encourage it. Now, I was listening to a lot of people talk about this week as I was pondering it and really reflecting and figuring out how I felt about this. So if they forget to reset it, no, if they forget to reset it, it does go back to, it defaults to their normal settings with no limit. You physically have to set a limit every single week. So you can set it for 1 week. So just say Christmas week, I don't want to spend any money this week, or I don't want to spend any money, no spend November. You can set it for just that time. And then that's it. Urine, someone shows and payments weren't going through, and I wonder, it's not just the payments. It will physically block you from swiping. Like, you can watch the show, you could participate in chat, you could support the seller, you could tap hearts. But if you've exceeded your limit, you just can't bid. I think a warning comes up on the screen. I have not set a limit, so what I'm saying comes up on the screen is just what I've read in the FAQs on Whatnot. I don't like it for me as a seller, honestly. I just think it's counterproductive to my sales. I don't like it for buyers either. Now, the other side of this, I want to give the other side because I've heard other people making points about this. The point that I've heard, so the argument to this that I have heard is people have spending problems. Whatnot is similar to gambling, and it can be very addicting. I'm right there. Look, I get a thrill when I'm bidding on something and I win it. I get those endorphins. I get a thrill out of that too. I understand how it could be a very addictive thing, and it's like gambling. It's like pulling down that lever or hitting that button on a slot machine, right? So they say that this is helping with that you can put spending limits so they can still come on Whatnot and feel secure in their spending within the limits that they've set. I get that. I also believe in self-accountability and self-control, but I understand the psychological impacts of what various types of addictions could have on a person. So I can't quite argue with that. I still just don't think it's a good business move at the end of the day. The other kind of like argument I've heard for this, like making this a good thing, is that when people feel that they can't control their spending, they just delete the app. So instead of having people delete the app, this is a way. Would you rather have a buyer delete the app or have a buyer who is willing to spend $100 a week on the app? Okay, I can see where that point of view is a valid, legitimate point of view. However, I would ask, as a person who likes to analyze information, what are the statistics? How many people are deleting the app versus new buyers coming to the app? Do we have more people deleting than we have coming to the app? Because people delete apps all the time. And it hasn't been a concern for 5 years on Whatnot of people deleting the app for spending too much money. It's not a concern for some of these other sites where people are spending too much money. Let's see what you're saying before I keep rambling. It's optional though, so exactly, it is totally optional. But with addiction, the person has to be willing to turn it on. Again, a CYA thing, absolutely. And why can't we just be adults? And see, that's how I feel. I do understand that just being adults, I agree. I'm like, look, be accountable for your actions. But I also do understand that there are psychological impacts of addiction, particularly with gambling. I've often joked around that if I'm on a Whatnot diet, yeah, this is the, what is it, Ozempic of Whatnot. I love that. Mental health shows to help learn. I agree. I think there's other ways that Whatnot can approach this without limiting spending. Single moms won't be messing around. I feel like it's a new thing and being played with. Yeah, I'm hoping that it declines, or if people use it, my prediction is within a couple of quarters, Whatnot is going to see their sales are stifling. What is Whatnot more? What do they want more than anything? They want people to swipe and make sales. That's how they make their money, right? That's how their sellers are making money. So I do think this is going to be gone after a while. That's right. A husband created it to control his wife. I needed to control my husband. Not really, but he does spend more than I do. I was waiting for him to say something. What are you going to do over there, my love? He's just rolling his eyes.
Ask him. She can't hear what I played,
I can't hear
so
it.
she needs to ask you guys what just
Oh,
happened.
he played something. Um, I was wondering what Whatnot suddenly would not let us say the word this week. It deleted. Really? I didn't notice that. That's cool. Womp womp. Okay, that's what he did. All right. So, anyways, that's the big thing. If you haven't heard about it, that's my opinion about it. I don't like it. I'm not going to change my shows, but I'm going to keep a close eye on it. I would love if any of you do a regular show. I know Southern Charm does her regular shows on Friday nights. If you do a Friday or Saturday show on a regular basis, um, I would love over the next few weeks if you see any impact of this to know, just out of curiosity. I really firmly believe that it is going to impact like Thursday, Friday, Saturday sales. Um, so I'm just curious for my own curiosity, to satisfy my own curiosity. All right. The other thing now, do you think all the failed payments this week? I don't think it was a failed payments because if you've reached your limit, it won't even let you bid. So it doesn't even get to the payment stage. So I don't think that's why. Um,
Alicia, I noticed that too. Some of my comments were not going into the chat. I think it might be just one of the glitches from the update on the app.
So good stuff. We are talking about the seller control, or it's not seller control, sorry, the new controls under account controls where you can set a limit on how long you can watch or how much money you can spend on Whatnot and the impacts those things may have. Just to recap, I'm not concerned about the watch limits. That just doesn't really bother me. The selling one does, the spending. Okay, now this is another thing that I think is new because I've just found out about it and I don't know how long this has been out. So if you guys know, please put it in the chat. If this is new to me, this may not be new to you. But the bid increments have changed. I'm just not sure when along this recent time period that this went into effect. But the bid increments have changed. So pretty specific not to allow us to use the word seller. That is so weird. Okay. So Southern Charms notice this too. So if you're bidding anywhere, if it's between the item is less than $30, $29.99, when you swipe, it goes up by $1. Bid increments of $1 every time you swipe. Once it hits $30 to $50, I say 50, it's actually $49.99. It goes by $2 bid increments. 50 to 100 is a $3 bid increment. So every time you're swiping, instead of $1, it's now $3 if that item price has hit $50. If it hits 100, it's $5. 300 is $10. 1,000, God bless you if you have bids going to $1,000. I have never experienced that. It is $20 increments, and over 2,000 is $50 increments. So I don't know. Pixie Thrift, yes, I'm going to talk about customer service too. So I don't know when this came out, but just know that your bid increments, this could affect your pricing. If you are a seller, this has been a thing for as long as you can remember. And the sports card shows, I know because, so Natural State of High, help us out. It's been like this in sports cards. What about like vintage and clothing? I don't remember it being this way. Maybe I've just never noticed. Most of my stuff doesn't really go super high. You just thought it was people. Me too, Kimmy. I thought it was custom bids. I never noticed it because of that.
Yes, DeAndre, you can override it with the custom bid.
Yeah, you can override with the custom bid, but it's still, if you just swipe, the automatic increment is what's listed here. I took a screenshot so I can reference it from the facts and FAQs. It used to jump way faster than that. I don't really think this isn't a problem. I mean, this is kind of normal. I mean, I don't see it being an issue. Where I do see is just making sure that as a seller, you're aware of it and accounting for that in your starting bids. So if you're a seller who doesn't do super low starts and you maybe start something at $25, know that as soon as that hits 30, the bid increments are going to go to $2 a piece. As a seller, I kind of like this. As a seller, this helps get my price up, right? And as a buyer, as long as I'm aware of what's happening and I control my swiping, it shouldn't affect me as a buyer neither. I just wanted to bring it up mainly to ask, has anybody else, when did this go into effect? Were you aware of this type of thing? All right. The other thing, so noticed it last week, didn't know it was a thing. So yeah, so I don't know if it's even like a big deal. Customer service. We all got that email, right? Everybody got that email. If you're a seller, you probably got an email that we are all responsible for our own customer service now. This isn't a big thing for me. I've been in the beta program. I didn't start. I still didn't start. Noticed it. Okay. Making sure I got caught up on questions. The customer service beta, I love it. I have been in the program 6-7 months, maybe even longer. But they are rolling it out to everybody. They are calling it, let's see, I actually wrote down what the name of it is here. You guys didn't get the email. This was like almost a week ago. It was probably late last Friday, maybe, or even Monday. Pixie Thrift. Yeah, I'll talk about it in a minute. We'll go back to it. So the customer service, they're calling it seller provided support. It's just taking customer service from Whatnot and moving it to the seller's responsibility. There's been a beta program that a lot of people have already been in. You had to sign up for the beta. It's not bad. I know a lot of sellers come to Whatnot and who's going to get this giveaway real quick? Previously mentioned, it's for 2 postcards. I put that in the description, so you're going to get 2 postcards.
Congratulations.
So, let's see, hold on, let's see. I almost died when I discovered the account health last night. Yes. What it does do, I'll talk a little bit more about it, but what it does do now is for all the sellers, and I don't know if it's on mine or not, you guys can look. If you're looking at my profile, you should see like my shipping time, but you should also see an account health. Account health, or like a customer service score. So we can now see on our sellers that we go to, customer service score, thank you. Do they suck at customer service? Are they responsive? When you are, as a seller now, we are monitored on how fast we reply, how we reply, just about being proactive and taking care of stuff. Are we denying requests? Things like that. Jump to my high beta instead of going incrementally. Oh, Mary, that's a little scary to go straight to high. But the customer service, I love it. Here's why I love it. Before I enrolled in the beta, if somebody had any issue, if something was broken, whatever reason, they would just go to Whatnot, right? They just hit the help thing through Whatnot. I would never know about it until it showed up on my account health. And even then I had to dig through and figure out, well, who wasn't happy? There's a lot of times that as buyers wouldn't reach out to the seller and it would just affect my account health. As a seller, when that would happen, I didn't have the opportunity to make it right. I didn't have the opportunity to apologize, to send a coupon, to do anything. And I didn't like that. I don't think it's rolled all the way. Maybe it's just not beta for y'all anymore and it's official. I haven't found any inkling of it. Okay, so that's interesting. I'm going to have to go back. Let's see if I can actually find the email and see exactly what it says. We'll see if we can find it here in a second. Let me open up my email to see if I can find it. I'm gonna see if I can find it really quick. But it's not a bad thing. If you speak of the email, there are also people. So maybe it's just for everybody that was in the beta. It's now an official thing. Let's see if I can find it and we'll see what it says. This is back. I can't find it. Okay. I'll have to find it later, but it's going to roll out either way. If you guys haven't seen an email yet, it's coming. If they've made it permanent for us in the beta, the next step is to roll it out to everybody. But it's a good thing. I really feel it's a good thing. The opposite side of that, because I do try to, as often as I can, do both sides of a coin here, is people are going to say, well, we pay 8% of our sales for Whatnot to handle these things for us. Are they going to lower our percentage at Whatnot takes? Probably not. There's been no talk of that. I haven't heard about it whatsoever. I haven't read anything about it. No, you're probably still going to pay 8% and do your own customer service, but it's not difficult. I would rather know when somebody is upset or when something doesn't go right for one of my customers so that I can fix it and I can handle it. It is going to weed out, doing customer service is going to weed out some of the bad sellers because they're not going to want to deal with it. They also can't be scamming people if they got to be responsible for their customer service all the time. So it's going to weed out some bad sellers. It's also going to weed out some of the bad buyers, right? The buyers who are scammers that come on all the time. So at the end of the day, do we have to do a tad bit of more work? Yes, but it's only work when something goes wrong. It's only work on the seller side when something breaks or a customer is unhappy. We can prevent that, right? You would know, Alicia, if you're a part of the beta. It would be very obvious. You would have got an email. You would see it in your seller hub. Let's see. Moody says, I don't like this thing where they want us to take pics of every package. I'm about to talk about that. We'll come right back to that, Moody. That will be the weeding out is the best part. I'm excited. I like having it too, Pixie Theft. I love having the customer service. I think the beta's closed. Don't quote me on that. I don't think they're allowing more people in the beta. I've heard from other sellers that they have not been able to get into it. They had like an opening months ago where you had to respond and get in at that time. But don't quote me. That is information I'm just gathered from other sellers. So take it for what it's worth. But like I said, it only is more work for me if something arrives broken or if a customer is unhappy. So if a customer is unhappy, that should be on me as a seller anyways. I should be doing everything on the front end to make sure my customer is happy. Penny, you got those 2 postcards. Congratulations. So
Congratulations.
there shouldn't be any more work. My customers shouldn't be unhappy if I'm doing my job right as a seller, right? Pretty easy. And then if something breaks, if I'm packing correctly, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing anyways and packing correctly, the only time something should break is because USPS was a little too rough. Now, we all know as sellers, you're not going to get away from breakage. There's going to be some percent of breakage. Hopefully that is a very small number. But it happens, right? Stuff breaks when it's shipping. This, hopefully, okay, well, clothing doesn't break. Some stuff, but clothing, the box can open, something can fall out. My husband's like, clothes don't break. There's still things that can go wrong with every shipment. But again, that's on me. If I'm doing my job to the best of my ability to pack correctly, to try to prevent that, I'm reducing the odds of that risk. I'm reducing the odds that is going to happen. I'm hoping it gives me more trust in the community. Very good. Let's see, what else are we? I never got one at 500 sales and you have it. That is amazing. That is awesome. I'm sorry, my love. What are you trying to point out to me? Okay. They should allow us to do partial or full refunds. They do. So there is an option where you can do a full refund or you can do a partial. So if you sent, a bundle of stuff and only one item was broken, you can offer a partial refund for just that one item. Same as the other platforms. Yep, I have always handled it. And Whatnot will step in. If it escalates, if there's a dispute and you and your customer can't figure it out, Whatnot will step in. Yep, clothes can get soaking wet. Is the option to refund open once you handle your own customer service? Yes. So basically what happens, and I'll be very transparent, I sent a beautiful piece of milk glass. It was wrapped great. I sent it to a customer. She reached out yesterday that it came broken. She wrote to me, she goes, your packaging was amazing, but I think you could tell that this was broke. It was very roughly handled. I said, and she had messaged me as one of the great buyers who actually just messaged straight to the seller. I love that. If you're a buyer, please do that if something is not right for you. Anyways, I said, please put the refund request in through Whatnot. It still goes through Whatnot. Well, what happens is Whatnot sends it directly to me right away. It shows up in my customer service screen. I then can hit approve full refund, do not return the item, or I can say return the item if it's something I want returned to me. I can say do a partial refund and put the dollar amount that I'm partially refunding, or I can say no refund and give a reason why. It also has a box to type a message to the customer with whatever selection you pick. And then at the very bottom, there's a box to say file a USPS claim for this. So because I know for a fact that this was broken by USPS and it wasn't due to a bad packing on my part, I click that. And I've seen this where then USPS, in a couple of weeks, you just get that money put back in your account. So it's really a few clicks of a button and a message to your customer. It's not something that's going to take so much time. So Polymer must, yes, you use polybag or double bag stuff. It sucks though that your account still gets dinged when it does. Crackshot Karen, that is one thing I do wish Whatnot would fix. That good morning, Looking Glass Lane. That if something breaks because of USPS, like if you file a claim and you get paid by USPS, then that shouldn't count against you, because then that's like proof that it wasn't your fault, right? I agree with you 100%, and I wish Whatnot would change that. I go back to, though, if we're doing our jobs as sellers, as much as I hate being dinged when it's not my fault, if we're doing our jobs properly and packing like we should be, then the number of things that break should be very low. Mine, I think I've had less than 11 or 12 things break, and I don't know how many sales I'm at now, 4,000 or 5,000, something like that. So it's not so bad. It's going to happen. To file a claim when I need photos, no, you don't have to have photos. And normally, and you can ask. So here's the other thing. If you're a seller and you get a refund request and you just see, hey, this came broken, I want my money back, you can reply.
Thank you.
Before you decline, accept anything. You have the option of replying, I'm so sorry that happened. Can you please send me photos? I had somebody write to me and tell me that they didn't get the right items. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Can you send me some photos, please? Because I was like, I'm sure I sent you the right items, right? And then it died. Never a photo. This is where I think that it's weeding out bad buyers, because they're not going to be able to play the system as easily as they could with Whatnot. Because if they send something to Whatnot and say, oh, this was broken, how often does Whatnot really require photos? Think about all the claims Whatnot's getting on a daily basis from the thousands upon thousands of sellers, right? That was a question I was going to ask for this morning. Insured packaging. Oh, okay. One box, multiple items, one broke. You can select to refund one item and not. Yes, you can. Absolutely. You can say, you just want to do a partial refund. Weed out the scammers. Yep. We need a customer score, or at least the ability to review customers sometimes. Yes. Thank you guys for all the comments you're doing. I appreciate the conversation. I just want to let you guys know that. We have videos we can rewatch of that. Yep. All right. So Whatnot sends you a notice of the claim once you have this feature turned on. Whenever Whatnot rolls this out to everybody across the board, it's in your seller hub. There's a little customer service icon that's in your seller hub. So if you were not in the beta or have not had this rolled out by Whatnot yet, you won't see that. It's coming, though. It's coming soon. Let me go back to my notes and see what else we were talking about this morning. Okay. Now, this is old news. This has been around for a while. And actually, you guys told me about this. I wasn't aware of it, and you brought it to my attention a couple of weeks ago on the new shipping scans. I wonder if you will still know, like Whatnot, if they are a person doing many returns. You do. This is another cool thing. For those of you who aren't in the beta, when somebody asks for a refund, on the little screen that pops up, on the top of my screen, it says that person's name, username, and then it tells me their lifetime spend with me, how many refund requests and how many cancellation requests they have submitted with me. You may not know it across the board. I'm sure Whatnot is still watching across the board, but I know instantly if Southern Charm, she's one of my very biggest customers. If she were to do a refund request, I'm going to know exactly on that screen, in that request, how much money she spent with me. If there's any other refunds and cancellations, it's going to tell me that on the screen. So you can kind of judge some of this for yourself when you're looking like, this name sounds familiar. Thank you so much. Whatnot should have a stream like this. You know what? E4E, is it E4E Antiques? there is a lot of good sellers on here, and Whatnot actually has, I want to call them ambassadors. They may not, that's probably the wrong term for them, but I think they have like Whatnot ambassadors who actually, they don't work for Whatnot, but they have like regular meetings with Whatnot and are able to answer more in-depth questions sometimes. So there's quite a few of those people. I'm trying to think. A Reworker's Passion is one. Hodgepodge Place is another. So there's some people that, while they don't work for Whatnot, they're considered ambassadors. So while Whatnot doesn't officially have a stream, there are many of us out here who can help you. Let's see. In the purchase tab, I wish we can add shipping name, as it doesn't always match the what. Yeah, I agree, Carla. Sometimes it doesn't match. There, Moody, thank you. Julie Becker and Custom Woodworking. Yes, both of them are ambassadors too. And they all have chat shows because that's part of their ambassador job, is to have a chat show. In the beta, you can file a UPS claim. Yes, you can. So at the very bottom, it's just a tap of a button that I'm like, I want to file a UPS claim, and then I don't have, Common Cloth is one too. She's really good. USPS claim, so that I don't have to do anything more. I click a button and the money appears in a couple of weeks if it's approved. So that's just kind of the basics of that. It's a good thing, you guys. It's not a lot. If we're doing our job, bottom line, if we're doing our job, it's not a bad thing. I know there's other people out here, other talk show people, and it's okay. We're all allowed to have our own thoughts and opinions. That's what's wonderful about the world we live in. But they're like, oh, this is just more work for me. And then I just don't see it that way. If we're doing what we're supposed to, it's going to be very minimal work. So that's that. Did you hear stores are going to try and charge us for returns? I did not hear that. That's interesting. Are you talking like brick and mortars? I love the scan feature. All right. Scan feature. Let's talk about this because you guys brought this to my attention. Thank you so much. I have been using it. Again, this is one of those very controversial things. You love it or you hate it. Some people are like, I'm not going to use it until they tell me I absolutely have to. Other people are like, I'm going to, like, this is really cool. Oh, wow, Moody, never heard of that. Okay. Southern Charm hates it. This is a time where we disagree. I love it. Here's why I love it. Because I do one big show a week and usually a few like Ray trains when I can. I have 50 to 80 packages on a normal basis. They fill up the bed of my truck. I can't wait in line. Just to take those inside to the post office is like 10, if not more, trips to walk into the post office, back and forth and back and forth. And it was 19 degrees here the other day. I'm not doing that. I go to the back of the post office. They roll out a big cart. I ring the little bell. They roll out a big cart, and I empty my truck, the bed of my truck, into their cart. I cannot schedule a pickup. I live in the country, and they will not do that for me. I'm not big enough yet. Maybe if I got to the point where I had thousands, they would. But at this stage, I'm not quite big enough to do that. I hate it. Do a scan sheet. That should be enough. I like it. The reason I like it is because I don't get the scans right away. At least this shows my customer that I've packed the box and it's going to the post office.
So the problem with the pickup is that the post office route, we're one of the first ones in the route, and therefore their vehicle is full of packages to deliver. Therefore, they have no room to pick up a bunch of packages from us. So hence the delivery.
Yeah, if I have 1 or 2 packages to go out in a day, I'll schedule a pickup. But anything over that, they can't do it for me. Let's see. I could see it being useful. So Natural State High says, see it being useful, but this time I'm blessed with amazing postmen that can scan everything as they pick up. So that's cool. Yeah. I scan before I leave my house. Yeah, so I'm going to walk you through my process here in a little bit. We're going to go take a little tour. I just print a USB scan sheet. I will not sell. I'd rather not self-checkout at the post office. Yep, you live in a rural area too. Thing is that it still isn't a real scan until the post office scans it. Absolutely, Crystals. Good point. All it does is mark it on Whatnot, but it's still waiting for that official post office scan. It doesn't prove that I actually took it to the post office. What it does prove is it shows a picture of a box. Usually you can see if you put other stickers on the box, you can have some visual proof that, look, I packed up your order. Oh, times are ticking. I'm jealous already. I don't mind. I don't mind on a week I have 15 packages, but when I have only six, oh, but when you have six shipping bags full and in a hurry, you skip the scan. Yep. Uh, let's see. The problem with the little thumbnail scan photos is that you can't read any info. Enlarging it makes it worse. Oh, okay, so I didn't know that. I haven't ordered a lot recently on Whatnot. It tells your customer that you supposedly sent it. I don't have that many orders to ship, so I don't use the scan. I don't know. Even with the amount of orders I have going out, I like it. I have just instituted it now as part of my system. It's not that big of a deal for me. I do my packing. I put all my boxes in one spot. I'm in my basement. And before I take them upstairs to put them in the truck, we scan them.
SS Vintage, just wear funky socks.
Yes, watch your socks. I know people have got pictures of my fluffy slippers or whatever. Do you have to scan it at the post office, or can you take a photo of the box once you slap a label on the box, like basically confirming it's been packed? E for E, you can do it at any time. I think Whatnot's intent, if you read through their terms of service and like FAQs on it, the intent was to do it as you're leaving for the post office. Like, it's supposed to be like, I'm about to go drop these off. Let me take a picture. It's kind of, that was the intent. I usually do mine right before I load them in the truck. It's not to take a picture and then let them sit there for 4 days. That's not the intent. And this goes back to Crystal's comments. It's not official. This is a customer notification thing. Let's Whatnot know that you're doing the job you're supposed to be doing. It's not official until the post office actually scans it. As a customer, I don't like it because the scan is now the photo that shows up. Oh, the lost ledger. Now that's a really good point. That could make it harder to go and track your orders. I did not know that, but that is to me, that's one of the most valid reasons why it's not good. It is extremely sensitive. And I'm going to tell you one of the things I found that messes it up every single time. At least 3 times for me, it's messed up on this. That people have bought from scan on Saturday night, and then I know it's not going out till Monday morning. Yeah. So it can be abused. I think this is the precursor. Nothing just happens by accident, right? Something's thought out on the Whatnot side. This is probably a precursor to some other type of shipping control that they're going to put in place eventually. Nothing is just kind of like sitting there. There's always steps in a rollout from a big company. Yep, it's a warm up to something else. Exactly. Here's where I found that it's messed up for me. Let me start another postcard giveaway really quick. I have packed a box and sometimes, at least 3 times, for one reason or another, misprinted the label. Had the wrong weight, realized it, needed to fix the weight. Maybe I forgot something, needed to put something else in the box. Whatever it may have been, where I've had to reprint a label. Every time I've had to reprint a label, it seems like it won't scan it right and gets stuck in the system until it's delivered. That bothers me. That's kind of a glitchy thing with it. And it throws me off when I look at my list and I'm like, why is there still showing 1 package? Oh, that's the one that I had to reprint the label. Like, that's one of the things I don't like about it. Thing is that before this, there was a place to go mark shipments as sent for people that use that. I do agree, Crystals. I think the button of marking it was sent. Now, I never did that. I never even marked it as shipped in that way. But now looking back at it, that probably is easier. I just don't see that this is scanning it as being that hard, I guess, or time consuming. Now, I'm fully aware I don't do thousands of packages. If you are a bulk seller, this could be a huge time waste for you. I'm just where I am at. I'm okay with it. I just had this happen and said it was already scanned. Yes, Pixie Thrift, exactly. It tells you it's already scanned. There's nothing you can do about it at that point. Just wait until it gets delivered. Okay, so that's really all I have on scanning packages. Any questions? Even 10 packages would overwhelm me. I sent a buyer message to let them know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's nothing more you can do, Pixie. All right, y'all, if you have questions, feel free to ask. We have about an hour left. As a buyer, I was excited for it because I've had such a problem with my PO returning packages due to weight issues. So there's a plus to it. I mean, as with anything else, there's going to be good and bad things to this. Um, if the thing is, it's optional. If you're a seller and you don't want to use it, you don't have to right now. I'm would almost bet anything that eventually that will change. I'm more of a let's adopt on the front end. I'd rather just get it, figure out how to fit it into my processes, and move on. Yeah, and once you scan the first one, it's so easy. You open it up, you hold it over the package, you move to the next one, you move to the next one. It's not a difficult thing to do. All right, y'all, are you ready for 2026? Yes, no, no. Most of you are ready for Christmas, but not for 2026. I am more ready for 2026 than I am for Christmas. I'm the opposite. Yeah, no, you don't have to go into each order. Just open it up once and just keep moving along your packages because of the new limits and things. Don't be nervous, Alicia. Don't be nervous. I think that's going to end up going away. Just pay attention. Know that it's there, and pay attention to it. That's all. Bring on, yes. What is this? Value. I can't read from here. Oh, Vault of Interesting. Yes, bring on 2026. Can you tell me what was the name of the lady who speaks about shipping? I believe I followed. That is Living Bliss Vintage, does a shipping talk show. I'm not sure what day anymore. I know she's changed it recently. But Living Bliss Vintage, I think my husband will try to tag her in the chat so that you can follow easily. It's already slow rolling. Getting organized for 2026 while husband recovers from surgery. Oh, Cynthia, that's awesome. Not awesome. Awesome he's recovering. Sad that he had surgery, and I'm happy that you're getting ready for the new year. I am super excited. We are going to do so many things different. Next week, 4 big announcements about Zoe's Treasures next week. All right. Oh, you may have noticed already my crown is gone up there. We don't do reward. We're not doing Whatnot rewards. Right, this next quarter. We'll see in the future, but right now, we're not doing it. I'm going to have something even better. I'm going to tell you guys next Friday what that is, what better is, in my opinion. So we have a lot of changes coming, all good. I just want to burst it out and tell you everything right now, but I'm not. You got to come next week, next Friday, 7 a.m., day after Christmas, while you're sitting there in your pajamas, contemplating taking down the tree or just saran wrapping it and putting it in your basement. Chill on your couch and watch me. Come see our announcements.
Me too, Brittany. Me too.
Thank you, Millicent. Her next Living Bliss Vintage next shipping show is 12/24. I'm going to have to set my alarm. I love to hear thoughts on rewards. I've seen a lot of people doing away with them. Who's going to get this giveaway really quick? Gloria Cam, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. I actually like the reward system. We're starting another giveaway. Granny Sales says, come clean with us. Yeah. So when hubby is going to do a chat show with direction to of doing backgrounds, Tegan, he actually has done 1 or 2 before. But if you want help, message him. He'll meet with you one-on-one and walk you through anything you want for free. He doesn't charge. He loves doing that. He's retired. He has time. So just message him.
Tegan, send me a DM. Here's the username.
Okay. Just my thoughts on rewards. I actually liked the Whatnot rewards. I found ways to make it useful, to make it complement my business strategies in this past year. I'm doing away because it no longer fits with my strategy because of the changes I'm going to announce next Friday. I could not figure out how to make the rewards fit in with what I'm doing in 2026. So that's why I've done away with it, but I am going to be replacing it. You'll hear all the details next week, replacing it with something else. So that's one of the things.
Thank you, Kimmy.
But what are you guys? Are you going to do anything different next year? You don't have to share. You don't have to give the details unless you want. But anything different for next year? Do you guys have plans? Have you thought through hey, what happened to 2025? What am I going to do to increase my business next year? Do you have to have some before you can set up what? Oh, the rewards. Yes, there was on the rewards. I don't know what the limits are off the top of my head. I want to say 200 or 500. I don't know. I don't want to give you a number and be wrong. But there is a limit. It wasn't that high, I don't think. for the rewards. $1,000. Thank you, Crystals. $1,000 in sales. This year was to maintain. Next year is to grow. That's awesome, Kimmy. In the beginning of the tax year, natural state of high. That just warms my heart. That makes me happy. I'm going to.
You're gonna have to come to the next show, Natural State of High.
You're going to do love art every morning. Wonderful. And this is great, you guys. And I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I look at the New Year like any other first of a month. It's just a clean cut to start something fresh. Live demos, very great. I have a bunch of stuff rolling out because for me, January 1st is a tax year. So I look at it, it's a good way to do something new in the business every year. Like, what are my goals this year for the business? What are my goals personally? Taxes focus for 2026. Awesome. Definitely, you guys, if taxes are your focus, don't miss next week's show because there is a really big announcement kind of involving that a little bit.
That's a great idea, I for Beauty. I think I'm just gonna switch my pajamas.
I for Beauty pants definitely suggest, yes. Women bras, no bathrobes, just a suggestion. Always works good for business. We have not done tax tips today. Today was a chill day. Tax tips will be coming. Come next Friday, you're going to hear cool stuff. Almost every area of my business is changing next year, all for the good, and not changing enough to go away from what the tried and true and what you guys love. Those things aren't changing.
Wishlist Rosie, but if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot them up.
Yeah, if you have a question, I'm always happy to answer questions. But what I want to ask for those of you who haven't, are those of you, let's see, because I do this, and this is why I have merged to more of a like planning thing. How many of you say, well, I'm going to do whatever it is sometime soon. Yeah, I'll get to that next year. I'll do it. But that's it. That's where it stops. What does that mean? Please don't stop your. I'm not going to stop support shows. No, they're still going to be here. Thank you though very much for enjoying them. But what does sometime soon mean, right? Does it mean when you feel like it? When the weather's just right? When there's a certain phase of the moon? What does it mean? My love, do you want to say something? I see you like leaning towards your microphone over there.
I was going to say, Alicia, there might be something a little bit bigger in the works. And we're so excited. We are hoping that this is going to happen and come to fruition. You're going to love it.
And yes, Millicent, I need a week off from taxes every now and then too. Totally with you on that. So when we say sometime soon, this is like me. This is what I do. I can equate, oh yeah, I'll get there with my business. Sometime in my business we'll make that much money, or I'll do this in my business. Yeah, sometime. It is like, let's see who won this real quick. YTTC, thank you for being here.
Congratulations.
It's like when I do my laundry. I wash it, I fold it, I put it in the basket, I take it upstairs, but then I say, yeah, I'll put it away. And a week later, it's still sitting in the basket.
Mama's couch. That's a pretty good guess. But it gets better than that.
So if you don't plan for it, if you don't make a conscious decision or a conscious effort, and it's just this, eventually, someday, it's going to be like the laundry that just sits in the basket and never gets put away until eventually you rifle through and pull out all of your clothes to wear, and then you just take the basket down for dirty clothes, right? So it's things like that. What Southern Charm has just red chatted me, and I'm sorry, I've got to answer you. I have to ignore your comment for right now. No comment. I plead the fifth. Okay. So you got to plan for it. And that's just kind of my thing for 2026. Some of the stuff for me, and it's not just business, it's personal stuff too. Like, and you don't have to, guys don't need to share anything personal. I'm not asking for that. But this isn't just a concept that works for your business. For me, last year at this time, I said, I'm going to run a marathon. I was going to run the Marine Corps Marathon in DC this year. So last year at this time, I sat here and said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to. I didn't schedule time in for training. I let my business overtake my personal life, and I didn't make it a priority. So did I run it? No, I didn't. So now I'm like, okay, personally, I'm scheduling in. I have gone into my calendar. I live and die by my calendar, and I have scheduled in time for me every single day. Um, I wish I had that kind of money, mamas. So it's how you do it. Like it's blocking that time off. It's scheduling that time. It's making it a priority. So I'm going to have all of you help hold me accountable, because that's the other side of it. It's easy to talk. It's easy to say, I'm going to do something. It's a lot harder when somebody's asking you, like, did you do it? It's like you with your kids, right? Do any of you have teenagers? Are you like, did you empty the dishwasher? Still see some dishes. Did you empty the dishwasher? This is what we need for us too sometimes as adults. Did you do that thing you say you're going to do with your business? Have you taken the first steps to do that yet? Did you plan it out? We got to help each other and hold each other accountable. And it becomes really important if you're not like a team. If you don't have a spouse that you're selling with, for me, my husband would be like, did you do this? And I'll do the same to him. So to have that accountability for each other, one of the things I am doing personally next year is I am getting back into my health scene. I have already signed up to run with a charity team, the New York City Marathon next November. So you're going to hear a lot about it. I'll be celebrating my great runs and complaining about my bad ones and my bad workout days throughout all of next year. Don't worry, I won't talk about it too much to bore you guys to death. Goal 1K sales, awesome. Tegan's, that is a wonderful goal. But personally, these are things that we're going to be doing. I will be raising money next year for cancer research as part of the charity run. In order to run on a charity bib, you have to raise a certain amount of money. Mine will be for cancer research because of my husband's cancer journey. So I always wanted to write a children's books, but kept putting it off until I got older and the kids had moved. But congratulations, mamas. That's awesome. This is just it. A lot of us just say someday or yeah, but you got to make the action steps for it. You've got to figure out, okay, well, this is what I need to do. Okay, that first step, I'm going to do that first step on this date or at this time. Or I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock every morning to make sure that this happens. And it could be little things. It doesn't have to be these big monumental things. It could be something as small as I want to curl my hair every day, or I want to put makeup on every day, The first year on Whatnot, we had a group of 4 that would do weekly check-ins on our Whatnot. SS Vintage, I love that. I think that is such a good, accountability partners, people to help not only hold you accountable, but celebrate those wins. Natural State of High on Friday morning. She's probably already left to go do her show. She does For the Win Friday. That's the name of it. And to have somebody to celebrate those wins with you is amazing. That I want to steal that. I have a few people around me, but those of you who are new, look at SS Vintage. Who do you have? Who's your group? Find your people. That right there is probably one of the best things. That should be on a new seller checklist. So let's do this. I'm going to run another giveaway. If I miss the winner, I'm going to congratulate you right now. But let's do a little tour. We have a little time. We're probably going to end early. Before we do a tour, I was going to kind of walk you through my process and behind the scenes of Zoe's Treasures. I tried doing this before, and it was so glitchy it didn't work. Hopefully we fix that. But before we do that, I want to remind everybody, we are at the end of the year. Get your inventory counts. Make sure you know what's in your inventory. You need to know what your ending inventory is. Yes, we're going to go on a ride. So you need to know what your ending inventory is. Go through your inventory, add up how much you paid for it, and just write it down. That is something your CPA, if you take it to somebody else to get your taxes done, is going to want to know from you. I do have a spreadsheet for that. Alicia, actually, it's in the bin. There is a inventory tracker in the bin. I think they're pretty reasonably priced. It is a very basic spreadsheet with very basic formulas. I try not to make it super complicated because the more formulas you put in it, the easier it is to mess up. So, all right, let's go on a little tour. You got to give me a second here. Well, I'm just going to kind of walk you through how we do things. You'll see my mess of a basement. Oh, thank you so much, Kimmy. Let's see here. Honey, is my phone set up the way you need it to be to make this work? All right. And let me log in here so I can watch the chat. I don't know if I'll be able, I can answer verbally. Let's see. Let me open up the show so I can see the chat. All right. Okay, honey, go ahead and switch it.
Here goes nothing.
Let's see if this works. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so behind the scenes with Zoe's Treasures, you're going to have to bear with me. I have an iPad in one hand and the phone in the other. This is what I see. So this is me just standing here.
Hello, everybody.
That is my love over there in his whole spaceship of controls. If I turn around here, you can kind of see he has a ton of stuff there. We have a camera above me. This is how we do our top shots. We have a camera over here on the side. That's how we do our side close-up shots. We have some other equipment here that's for future. I can't tell you, that's part of our announcements next week. This is where I do photos. It's not a big space, you guys. It's a very small space. This is in my basement. So you see we have a camera right there. I set my items up. So when I do list things, that's where I do my photos, my junk. Behind me are a set of shelves. So this is what you see in my background and where I put all my inventory when I'm selling. And see that Santa Claus? That's from Southern Charm. Just had to say that. All right. So this is the inventory.
Thank you, SS Vintage.
I'm trying to go slow so that I don't make anybody sick. We're turning around. That's the bathroom. You don't need to see that. When I sell, so as I sell something, I stand where I just showed you, pull it off the shelves, I sell it. It goes on these shelves, so that's why most of them are empty. I put
Hey,
everything.
Aaron. Good morning. Welcome
Good morning,
in.
Aaron. I put everything I sell on those shelves, and usually I'll have a cart right here where my nice fuzzy slippers are. I'll have a cart that I fill up, and we'll walk back. You're seeing my basement. Real quick, this is my basement that we have partitioned off. We just have a curtain. We partitioned off part of our basement. This is my studio. We'll give you another shot. There's my love. Look at him in his PJs. What not to do on what not. All right. It's my gym, you guys.
They want to see the lighting
They want to see the lighting.
for the photos.
Sure. Let's go back. We're going backwards. Okay. The lighting setup. So we have two of these big lights here, kind of diffused type lights. And then we have that one there. That's over the table that we sell on. That one faces the table we sell on. And then we have another big one over there. That's the only lights we use.
So I can control the lights remotely. You can see how it goes brighter, or I can make it dimmer.
All right. So we have 1, 2, 4 lights. And then we do have some overhead. You can just see the basic, built-in normal overhead stuff. All right. I'm trying to go slow. I don't want to make you guys sick. All right. So we're just going to walk. That's where the studio is. We're in my basement. Ignore some of the mess. Come through my basement. That's the cart I use. It's all loaded up so that I can get ready for my MCM show.
Yes, the monitor is a big help for her.
And this is the unfinished part of the basement where I keep all the inventory. I use this little cubby. It helps organize shipments as I'm packing them.
The Lost Ledger. If you want information about the equipment, send me a DM. And Cynthia Sadik, congratulations.
Congratulations, Cynthia. All right, so this is the unfinished part. This is the ugly behind the scenes part. This is where all the shipping occurs. We'll start at one side and work our way around. So I have installed just straight to the studs. We have some of the honeycomb, our plastic wrap. Y'all, and things don't have to be new. Like, check this out. It's broke right there. It works still. We have some brown paper, makes it nice and easy. I work on this table right here. So everything is right where I need it. A hodgepodge of just miscellaneous supplies, stickers. Those are some Natural State of High stickers. Gift cards for giveaways. I do have 2 printers. One, my Rollo, I use for shipping labels. The Jadens I use for any other type of miscellaneous labels I need to make. We have a scale. Of course, you have to have something to watch Netflix while you're shipping when you spend 7 hours down here. And this is, I just use a tablet. That's where I do control all the shipping, bring up whatnot on there. You have the same Jadens? Yeah, they work great. Y'all, if you don't want to spend money on a Rollo, the Jadens works awesome. So this is, I just kind of have this set up permanently here. I found it was easier than oh, the last ledger, I'm about to show you that. Than having to tote my laptop over here all the time. I have shipping stuff I use, so nice and easy. I just know I can walk in here and start shipping. This is how I store my boxes that I purchase or the priority mail. Those orange things are actually lumber holders. So I bought them. They're supposed to hold pieces of wood. They work wonderful for boxes. I've even labeled. Don't know if you can see that, but those little labels say 10 by 10, 8 by 8, 12 by 14. So I know exactly. I don't have to dig through boxes. I can pick the right size very easily. Does wired work best for printer? Both of mine. Well, no, my
Yes,
Rollo's
they
plugged
do.
in.
Yes,
No, that's the
wishes
power.
Rose. Yes, they do. But ours is wireless.
Yeah, both of ours are wireless. And then, of course, I think all resellers have a box. I have a pile of boxes that came in. I don't break them down. I don't find there's time savings. I use them too quick. So just boxes that have either come in or I started to use and then didn't use. And I mean, it's not perfect. And it's just you make the best space. I have boxes everywhere. You make the best space of use of what space you have. This is my favorite bubble wrap machine. I love this one. It is super fast. This is what it looks like. It's off right now. I do that size bubbles with it. Underneath it, I keep a big bin, so I just make a bunch at one time so I can grab it out of there when packing. This one's really fast. And then I have this one. This one, let's see. It makes the bigger bubbles. It works, but it is slower. So this is the first one I bought. Works great, just slower. Keep paper there, ready to wrap things in. And then underneath is all my bubble wrap. I find having a bubble wrap stand works wonderfully. I buy those at Sam's Club. I can fit 2 on there. And then, of course, spare bubble wrap and just stuff we make. This is just all packing. It's not beautiful. It's not glorious, but it gets the job done. Love the bubble machines. Thank you. Yes. I know, Southern Charm, you have a bubble machine too. Yeah, Crack Shot Karen, best purchase ever. And then behind me, I have this mess, but it is basically stickers and little, things that I might put in packages and supplies like, box shapers and scissors, pens, whatever I may need, and just extra supplies. So when something comes in, when I buy something, the way I keep inventory is I bring it down here, I unpack it on the table. It gets one of those little colored dots that signify how much money I spent on it. And then it goes into my inventory. This is where all the stuff for sale is. And I organize back here by shelves. Those of you who have come to my shows know I do a rotating system of shows on every Saturday. And that's how I do my shelves. So like this, all right here, would be kind of like farmhouse type show. Yes, this is where it is. And
If
so
you're
like this whole
if you're
shelf, this is one
buying
show.
if you're buying any PDFs or
That's
Excel
another show.
spreadsheets, send
This
us a
is all
DM with your
vintage
email.
variety. So I organize by shelf. I got those price dots on Amazon. Y'all, this is reverse auction. This right here, this is what's coming up this week. So it's really easy for me to look and say, oh, this shelf is empty. I need to buy more of whatever it is for what's coming up. Ignore my personal mess. Glowy glass. So everything is just kind of organized by that. This is all primitive. Since that's usually a bigger show for me, I need a little more shelves. That whole section is primitive. We have a section for ephemera. And then, if I turn this way, the top 3 shelves here, the first top 3 are things that I've photographed and listed. So I know that these are listed items. When I sell something from another site or from my whatnot bin, I know it's on one of these 3 shelves. And then the bottom 2, the floor and the bottom shelves, are things I still need to photograph. So these are things that have come in that I'm like, okay, I'm not going to put these on in a show for whatever reason. They're going straight to some type of listing. They go there. And if I feel like it, I can always grab it and throw it in a show.
Wishlist Rose, and she would say she
And then
needs a
just a
warehouse.
hodgepodge, a mess of shipping supplies. I have done a Frankenbox. Let me show you what I love for Frankenbox. And behind those boxes are just a bunch of more boxes. So I'm trying to use every little inch of space that I have. Let me show you what my favorite box tool is this guy right here. This cuts boxes You hold the button, and it cuts your cardboard so nice and easy. Best purchase I have ever made. Got it on Amazon. Love that. Because you can cut off flaps, you can cut off other boxes, like just cut them to different sizes. And then the other tool that's really great is this guy here, and it helps you size boxes. I don't use that as often, but that box cutter I use almost every single week when I'm shipping. And they're not that expensive. And for those of you just starting, we're gonna head back. That's my living room, and see, look it. I am total whatnot. That is whatnot junk over there that I need to put away, stuff that I need to sort through, do something with. It invades everywhere. Brand of the box cutter. Let me see. Let's go backwards. Sorry, y'all. We're going to make you get sick here. Sorry. Brand of the box cutter. It is Zip Snip. Let's see. Don't think there's anything else on there. Nope. Zip Snip by Works. You are very welcome. And that is it. That's behind the scenes. It's not a huge space. As you can see, this is just a big basement, and we have a curtain that we can put on a tractor or ceiling. And if I come back, it just kind of blocks off when we're doing shows, lets people know that we're doing a show. It also makes it easy for me to calculate a square footage for my home office expense for taxes. All right, y'all. Now we're back. Did you switch it back? All right. That's it. That is behind the scenes. Oh, is Amazon, Crackshot Karen says, Amazon's about to have a run on supply. Oh, everybody's going to go buy supplies there. Yes. I think my favorite things that I use all the time is I like how my boxes are organized. It makes it super easy for me. But that box cutter too, and then the bubble machine are probably the best purchases that I have made for shipping that helps me more efficient and speed up that process in shipping. I tried to back out of my camera. Sorry. Let's see. The rack that everything pretty much came from Amazon. So where the rolls of the paper were on, those are actually, those came from Amazon. And then I just mount them to the studs. They work great, except that one did break pretty quick. But I just finished kind of reorganizing. I didn't draw attention to certain areas because, what are they called? Crystals, let me look at my Amazon and I will send you the exact name. I'll go back and look at my order. So after the show, I'll send you the exact name. Because I don't remember what they're called. But if you look up like shipping paper holder or dispenser, it probably will pop up under one of those things. Natural State High, thank you. That's awesome. Basements are not happening in Florida, but you can do, for me, the most efficient thing is having my table there where I do shipping and everything like right around me. So I'm just turning and grabbing. You don't want to have to like walk to the other side of the room to get something or go back here to get something, right?
Yes, that's what she wants. She wants a full-on warehouse.
I do want a house, you guys. I want, yes, I can't expense the shipping area from just that one. So that area used to be, I used to keep my boxes of like holiday decorations and beach chairs and stuff like that in there. I've actually moved that to storage that I pay for so that I can have my business stuff close at hand. But yes, it is an expense. You can put that on your taxes. You can write that off. Just the main thing with that, on anything you're going to put as a home office that's still considered part of your home office, is that it's used primarily and exclusively for the home office. Those are the key words that you got to remember, primarily and exclusively. Part of the reason why sound control is another reason, but why we put up a curtain here is to really kind of segregate off our studio space. And then we have, a very partitioned off inventory section. But you don't, I know that looks big to people who may be living in an apartment or don't have a basement. I know that looks like a lot of space, but it's actually not any more than what an average size bedroom would give you. It's just spread out and kind of made into a different form. Um, so you can do a lot by being creative. So just when you're, kind of thinking through, there were certain spots as we were walking back there that I intentionally skipped over because they have to do with our announcements coming next week. So we'll get into that more next week, more announcements. But other than that, you guys, that is really all we had today. Today was a pretty chill show. I wanted to do a tour because I tried doing it a couple of months ago and I was way too glitchy. So I think today worked a little bit better. And then next week, come see me next week. We are doing a big giveaway. Not just postcards. We actually have something really cool that kind of goes in line with some of our upcoming changes. You are very welcome. I love seeing other people's stuff. So I like when other people do tours because I'm always like nosy, but nosy in a good way. I'm like, what do they do? How can I make mine better? How do they organize? How do they do this? So thank you so much. Yeah, that's all my husband. He's a little overboard sometimes, but I appreciate it. So all right. Yeah. Okay. Brittany, y'all just tell me if anybody agrees with me. My kids always told me I was crazy when they were growing up because at night when I'm driving, if somebody has their lights on and their curtains open, I'm so like, how do they decorate their house? Like I would go through walks on the neighborhood, not to be like a creeper. I'm not like going and peering in like this, but I'm walking by like, is it antiques? Is it modern? Is it? All right, good. So I'm not crazy. Y'all do this too. Okay. My kids give me such a hard time. I was driving with my son the other night and I actually slowed down because somebody had a really cool laundry room and their door was open. And I'm like, oh, check that out. And he's like, Mom, don't be nosy. You do it with plants. Thanks. Or that's a huge, yeah, exactly. Fix their space for you to look at during the day. And for inspiration. Yep. All right. We're going to go raid somebody. Not too sure who's on right now. We're going to go figure this out. But I said we had an estate sale. People came by just to, Crackshot Karen, I go to estate sales sometimes just to see the house. So if they leave the door open, they want you. Exactly. All right. You guys, hold on. Do you provide? I do not do on Google Drive. We will email. If you guys purchased anything from the bin, thank you so much. Message me your email address so we can get those right over to you this morning. I don't do them on a Google Drive. The information isn't really information that changes that often. If it does change, I have a list of who bought what. I can always send it out if there is a major change. Most of the information is not stuff that like would change enough to necessitate a Google Drive. And they're PDFs, so you should be able to view them on almost any device that you have. All right, let's go find somebody to raid. Have a great, I'm going to see you before Christmas. I have a couple more shows, but still have a great Christmas. And for sure, be here next Friday morning, 7 a.m. I'm so excited about it. I just can't say enough. All right, we'll talk to y'all later.
Thanks for joining us. Buckle up.
Guys, but if you got little kids in the room, this is one that explicit is turned on. So
See you next time